Hi, this is Scott from Only Factory Direct, and I'm here today to offer a little bit of guidance and assistance with some issues that you might have had or might experience with the built-in MP3 players that come on like the PP1204 series, the 1205s, the PP1504s and 1505s, the PPM8s and PPM10s, which are the little small guitar amp looking rechargeable speakers that we carry that all have that built-in MP3 player function. Now that MP3 player will take either an SD card or a flash drive. We provide a flash drive for all those units when we send them out. We get those from a third party. They're not manufactured by the same manufacturer that makes Podium or any of that kind of stuff. We buy them and provide them as a convenience to the customer. So there's a couple little steps and things that I'd like to explain just to help you have a really easy transition from pulling your stuff out of the box to having your stuff play properly on the player. So with those units, we usually send out either this little Only Factory Direct thumb drive, which is kind of flips over and you see the USB port there, or these little data travelers. That's another one that we send out. It's got a little cap there. And these units, sometimes you might have to format them. If you come into any kind of issue with that, you might have to format the drive. And I'll go over how to format a drive here shortly in the little tutorial that I'm going to do. And then the first thing that I would suggest, if somebody calls up and says, hey, I've got this MP3 player and I got all my songs on there, I plug it in, it's not reading them, I'm having an issue there. Well, the first thing you want to do is make sure that all your files are labeled MP3. They have to be labeled as an MP3. Now there's a lot of different MP3 formats. I know there's MPEG and there's MP4 and some other variations of MP3s. There's also, I know Macintosh uses AIFF files. Windows computers usually use WAV files. Those are all great audio formats, but these are specifically for MP3. Those little players it has to be an MP3 file for it to read it properly. So I'm going to go through a couple steps and show you how to convert those WAV files or AIFF or MPEG-4 or MP4, all the other types of file formats to an actual MP3 file that these little units will read. Then, so that's the first thing. You want to make sure that everything is MP3 format. Second of all, these little players sometimes have a hard time going into folders that are on these little drives. So for instance, say you have a Madonna album in a folder, you have a Led Zeppelin album in a folder, you got a Green Day album in a folder, and you drag all three of those folders onto these little drives, and then you put it into your MP3 player and you're still not getting any sound, it's not reading anything. That's because you've got them in subfolders. So the little player has a hard time going into the drive and actually pulling all those files out of those subfolders. So what you want to do is just take all those, open that folder on your computer, drag everything over, each song right onto the drive. And again, I'll show you how to do that in the tutorial. But that'll really make a huge difference. That'll help. Everything will read off of there. You can kind of align things, put things in order and things like that, which will make it more convenient for you if you're using it to DJ or using it or something between sets or something like that. So that's first thing. It has to be an MP3 format. Second of all, you want to make sure that nothing's in any kind of a subfolder. You want to make sure that everything's drugged straight onto the drive, and that will 9 times out of 10 that'll fix any kind of issue that you have getting your MP3s to play. Lastly, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you still are having an issue and still having troubles, it's still not reading, you may just have to plug this back into your computer, reformat it, and start the process over. Sometimes these little drives, they just they're set up to go when you get them, but sometimes the setup process didn't work at the factory or whatever the case may be, and you just have to reformat it for your computer. So with that being said, I'm going to switch over to my computer here and show you some screenshots and how to set up MP3s, how to drag them over onto your drive, and then how to format your drive as well. So check it out. Here we go. First thing we're going to do is set up our drive. So we want to just take our thumb drive here. I'm just going to plug it into the USB port on the front of my computer here. And then it just clicked, so it got a little beep there. Installing device driver software, it usually says that. And then it says my device is ready to use. It already popped up here. and you'll see you have a couple different options. You can open the folder and view folders, all that kind of stuff. We want to go into your start, and then let's see here. I'm going to go to your computer, and you'll see here under computer it says Kingston, and that's our drive. So if you right click that, it'll give you an option to format. So we want to just take a look at that. It's going to give you all the different options here for formatting. It tells you the capacity, tells you the file type or system. FAT32 is going to be the default, so we just leave it at the default. Everything here is pretty much at default. We just want to hit quick format and hit start, and it'll give you this warning that it's going to erase all the data. So if you have data already on your drive and you're reformatting it, you want to make sure you back all that up and just hit OK. And now it's going to go through and format. It's probably only going to take a second because it's already been formatted. So format complete. OK. That's all there is to formatting your disk. So if you have to format the drive, that's the first thing you want to do. Now we're going to step over to converting your MP3s or other files formats to MP3 actually. You can do this in iTunes. Now iTunes is a free program that you can get if you go to apple.com, or you can go to itunes.com. You can just Google search iTunes download, and you'll find it. It's a free program and probably the largest used music program out there and available. So really easy and simple to use. Now there's a couple little things we need to do real quick. Once we get iTunes open, you want to go to Edit at the top there and go down to where it says Preferences. Okay? And then once you're in Preferences, you'll see it says Import Settings down here. So you want to click Import Settings. Right now I have it set to Wave Encoder. So now if I have files already on my computer and I want to transfer them to some other format, it's going to set them up as waves. Or if I put a CD in and rip the CD into the unit, it's going to into iTunes, it's going to download all the files as waves. So we want to change that to MP3 encoder. So once you click MP3 encoder, you're all set there, and you just want to click OK, and then OK to get out of this menu here. Now you can go into your music files here. I think I have a wave file. Yeah, this one here is a wave file. So I want to convert this to MP3. All you have to do is click on that, select that song, right click, and you'll see down here it says Create MP3 Version. So you just click that, and you'll see it's converting to an MP3. Just gave me a little beep, let me know I'm done, and that's all there is to it. So like I said, you want to make sure that everything is in an MP3 format. Can't be an AIFF or WAV or MPEG or MP4 or those any other types of MP3 formats. It has to be labeled as an MP3, and that's a real simple, easy way to convert using iTunes. And there's a lot of other programs out there that'll do that, but that's really the easiest way to do it, and it's free. So yeah, those three little tips. Again, formatting the drive, doing that first is usually a best bet if it's a brand new drive. That way you don't have to go back and do it later if you have other issues. Make sure everything's in MP3 format, and here's how you do it. And then lastly, I'm going to show you with the folders. I was talking about folders. Now let's see, I want to bring my drive back up again here. So I'm going to go back to my computer and back to Kingston. I'm going to double click that. Okay, it shows the folder's empty. So I have nothing on the drive at the moment. Now, let me find another quick, easy way to, I go into my music, iTunes Media, music. Okay, so here I have a couple of different artists here that are all in folders. So typically what you would think to do is just drag this folder with all those songs directly over onto the drive. We don't want to do that. We want to drag each song. So how we do that is, again, we open this drive, then you can do this in iTunes if you've already got all the songs in iTunes. You just want to drag each song directly over into that folder. Yeah, there we go. And now it's just copying the song file right directly onto the folder, or right directly onto the drive without putting it in any kind of a subfolder. So now it should read. I unfortunately put the wave one on there. I should have put the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I know that waves aren't going to play, and I'm going to put the MP3 version on there. And there we have it. So it just dropped it into the folder, and then you just want to continue putting all your songs in there that way so it all flows, and when you plug this drive into your MP3 player on your powered speaker, it'll just read everything directly off of that. That's really all there is to it. Hope this helped you out. I hope that it resolves any kind of issues you might have getting those MP3s to play. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can reach me 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, at onlyfactorydirect.com. You can pop on instant message. You can call us at 800-910-3575, or send me an email at techsupport@onlyfactorydirect.com, and I'd be glad to help you out with any issues you have. Thanks for watching.